What's up everyone, my name is Marie, welcome to my channel and welcome to another speed build. So for today's video I'm actually back in the world of Mount Komorebi and it's been so long since I built here last. I can't even remember. I don't even remember what build it is that I did here last. It is been a hot minute, but we're back here and I'm actually building for the Not So Berry challenge. If you don't know, I do play the Not So Berry challenge over on Twitch. I don't play it over on YouTube. I play a different legacy challenge on YouTube, but I do play it on Twitch. So yeah, shameless plug. If you are interested in watching me play the Not So Berry challenge, then you can definitely head on over to Twitch. We play it every Wednesday. And I love it so much. It's so much fun. And we are very close to actually starting the 4th generation, which is the gray generation. If you're not familiar at all with the Not So Berry challenge, let me just quickly explain what the thing is with these colors. So each generation for the Not So Berry challenge is actually based on a specific color. And honestly, that's all there is to it. You can actually just do with that whatever you want. You can come up with your own rules. You can take that as seriously as you want it to, but what most people tend to do and what I also like to do, so when you have an heir for a specific color, for a specific generation, I like to make that entire sim that color for the most part. Like I still want it to be, dare I say realistic? It's not really realistic, but I still want them to look good, like the sims that I prefer to play with. A good looking sim is obviously different for everyone, but you know what I mean. Like I still want to have fun creating my sim and not be too restricted when it comes to the color, but they're definitely based on the color gray, and so is their house. So gray for this one, their house is going to be entirely gray for the most part. Like I'm still me. I like building in The Sims. It's one of my favorite things and I still want to have fun and like not be too restricted with everything. But this house is definitely gray. You know what I mean? You can already tell by the colors I picked for the exterior. I did add in a little touch of something else by using like orangey type or like reddish wood window frames and door frames and stuff like that. But yeah, I definitely tried to add in a little bit of a touch of color so that it doesn't look too flat, if that makes sense. If I were to use like gray windows and doors on this house as well, then everything would be gray, which is kind of the point, but also I still want there to be some form of contrast, if you know what I mean. So that's what I do. But you could also just make the entire house gray, like as gray as possible. That is also a fun thing to do, you know? So obviously these challenges, they have rules, but you can play them however you want to play them. And of course, for the Not So Berry challenge, each sim or each generation has a list of like set goals that you need to do, a set career, just like, you know, little goals that you need to do. So I actually do have the Not So Berry page, like website open here, so I can read to you what the gray generation kind of like, what kind of sim they are. So it says here, you always felt that you were different. While the rest of your family was busy messing around in the lab, you just wanted to be outside playing basketball. You're very good at sports and you dream of becoming a professional athlete. To make up for your non-existent relationship with your parents, you want to be there for your own children as much as possible, and you love to sing. So, as you can already tell, there's definitely already some history there because they are the 4th generation. So they come from a family where science is a thing. Their mom or their parent, in my case it was a mom, the yellow generation is very much into science, aliens, that type of thing. And this sim is very different from that. They definitely do not have no interest in science or 6M aliens, outer space whatsoever, and they are very much into sports. They're a very sporty sim, and they also have to master the athlete career. They're going to be they're going to have the bodybuilder aspiration. And for their traits, they're active, a slob, and a music lover because they love to sing. I keep forgetting about the slob trait. My sim right now, my gray gen sim is still a teenager, so they only have 2 traits, but their final trait when they age up into a young adult is going to be slob, and that is definitely going to be a little bit annoying. We'll see how we go with that. Maybe, hopefully, we'll be able to afford a maid to come by every day. Like that would be lovely. But we'll have to see how we go about that. But yeah, they're very sporty. They are active and a music lover. They love to do karaoke, which is actually so much fun. Karaoke, for some reason, isn't something I play with a lot. I did pretty recently actually upload a karaoke build to my channel, which I also talked about that in the voiceover, that it was going to be for my Not So Berry challenge, I think, because I wanted there to be like a staple venue for my sim to go to. My silver, or my gray Gen heir, her name is actually Silver, so that's why I just call her Silver. But yeah, that is her, and she likes to sing, and I just wanted her to have like a staple karaoke place where she could go to. And she also is host of like a karaoke club. If you have get together, then you can form these clubs and have them like set up things for them to do that they enjoy. And I created a karaoke kids club where they are just teenagers that love to do some karaoke. So she is the, I guess, president of that club, or the leader of the club. I'm not exactly sure what the term for that is. But yeah, she has that. So that is really fun. And they're going to be an athlete. So I definitely wanted to show that in the build as well. So you can really see the exterior come together. I thought the gray house would look nice in Mount Komorebi because, as you may or may not be able to tell, you can kind of see that the surrounding area in this world, or in this neighborhood, is already sort of gray. Like, it's pretty. I'm not saying that in a negative way, like it's really pretty, but there's definitely a lot of gray just going on. Gray streets, gray surrounding buildings, also some like colorful buildings, but for the most part everything is very neutral, and there tends to be a lot of gray. So I thought this world would actually be perfect for a gray generation build, and it's also just fun to, as you're playing through a legacy challenge like this, in my opinion, it's just fun to explore different worlds and move to different places with your Sims as well, so they can experience different things, and it keeps the gameplay fun and like different and varied, you know, like just a variety of different worlds and things to do, and just, I guess, surrounding areas. It's just a nice change of pace. So I'm actually very excited to move to Mount Komorebi. We're currently living in Strangerville with the yellow heir, so it's gonna be completely different. It's gonna be completely different. And also, one thing that's kind of new for me is that the family isn't moving with her this time. Usually what I like to do is I like to keep the whole family together until the previous heir dies, and then you just continue on like that, and then the grandparent is always going to be in the house. But because this sim feels so different from the rest of their family, I feel like it would make so much more sense to have them move out on their own and start their own life, kind of start from scratch, or not from scratch, but with a clean slate, I guess. So they're gonna move into a new house in a new world without their family. I still want there to be like contact with their family, even though she doesn't really have that great of a relationship with her mom. She also has two brothers who are alien babies. She actually also is an alien baby, but she's not blue. Her brothers are blue alien babies, and she definitely has a non-existent relationship with them. And she also basically has a non-existent relationship with her mom. Like, they talk to each other. It's not like they fight all the time, but they're just so different in their like personalities and interests and stuff like that, that they just don't really vibe that well. So yeah, she's gonna move out on her own, and she's gonna live here in Mount Komorebi. And also, because she is so sporty, for a nice side quest, I thought it would be fun to actually try to become a very successful mountain climber, I guess, to really build up that skill and work on that, so that you can go on the adventure in Mount Komorebi. I think there's like some sort of excursion or thing you can do where you go on this quest to like climb the mountains, and you have to camp out there, I think. I haven't really played through that before, so I'm actually very excited to do that. And because she is so like adventurous and sporty, I thought that would be a fun side quest to kind of also do. And we're gonna be close, so we can just like travel to the snowy area and practice our mountain climbing and stuff like that. I think that'd be really fun. At first, I kind of wanted to add a climbing wall to the house, but the climbing walls are really big. If you don't know, the climbing walls actually came with the fitness stuff pack. It's a really cool item, but they're so tall. I think you need the tallest wall height if you want to place them inside. So that was not going to fit. Maybe I have to build a gym or something in Mount Komorebi where I make space for like the mountain climbing walls. I think that would actually make so much sense to have a gym in Mount Comrary where you can practice mountain climbing. I think that would actually be really fun. So maybe that is a fun idea that I have to keep in mind for this world. But yeah, as you can see, we have moved on to the interior of the build here, and I'm very excited about it. We have this kitchen. I barely ever use these kitchen counters from the Snowy Escape pack because they're open, as you can see. They're all open, they have shelves, and they do have slots for clutter, which is nice, but also it tends to look a little messy, and I don't know, sometimes I'm just too lazy to clutter it up, so I don't want to use the open shelves. But because we are building a Mount Komorebi and the house is definitely also in a style that fits here, I kind of wanted to continue that in the interior as well. So I really wanted to use a lot of these Snowy Escape items in here, so that's what I tried to do. And those open cabinets, of course, are from the pack, so I decided to use them. But actually, as I was building this over on Twitch, someone suggested that another builder, Dr. Ashley, you may be familiar with her, she's very talented and just amazing. She had this tutorial on YouTube where she showed how she closed off the cabinets using those glass wall dividers. I think they're from the Moschino stuff pack. So I kind of copied over that trick and sort of made it my own. I think she did it a little bit differently. And I thought it was so clever. So thank you, Dr. Ashley, for that amazing tip to use the glass dividers as doors kind of for the cabinets. You can still see through them because obviously they're glass, so you can still see the clutter. So it doesn't really solve my issue of when I'm too lazy and I don't want to clutter it up. But it is nice to like be able to close it off somehow and make it look a little bit different at least, instead of just being completely open. So yeah, that was a nice tip that I really, really enjoyed. And then off of the kitchen and dining room, we actually have another dining room, which is this little sunroom. We have two dining rooms. I didn't really think that through, but it actually ended up working out just fine. So we have another dining room here where I just placed the lower kotatsu table here. I thought that was really fun. I never use it, and where better to place it than in a Mount Komorebi build? So obviously I had to do it. I just placed it down here, and as you can see, I also placed a cat tree because my sim does have a cat, a gray cat, and her name is Shadow. Her name was already Shadow when I first adopted her, which was too perfect. A gray cat named Shadow, which is sort of like a gray inspired name in my opinion as well. So we decided to keep that name, and obviously because we have a cat, I had to put in all the essentials. I also placed a food bowl for the cat in the kitchen, which I don't think you could see that. I think I did that off camera, I'm very sneaky, but it is there. So yeah, the cat can hang out there. And then one thing that the Gray generation also has to do, like it said in the little description, they want to make up for their non-existent relationship with their parents. So they want to be there for their own children as much as possible. And one thing that they have to do, like a rule for this generation, is they have to have a family movie night with spouse and children every Sunday. How cute is that? So we had to have a living room that is set up for movie nights every Sunday. So I really wanted to go for a very cozy living room space here with a nice fireplace, of course. Let's hope the house won't catch on fire every single time they turn that on, because that seems to happen for me these days. I'm not exactly sure what that is, but it is very annoying. I did place a fire alarm in the living room, so that at least we have that, but you know, you never know what happens. But yeah, the fireplace is just so cozy, and yeah, I don't know. I just thought this living room would be nice for a movie night. I wanted there to be enough space to sit for everyone. I'm not exactly sure how many children my Gray gen is gonna have, but I'm thinking 3. We do have 3 bedrooms in the house, so they're gonna have to share some rooms, but I'll figure that out when the time comes. But I think 3 children is gonna be a nice amount, I guess, to have, and then we can hang out with the spouse and the 3 kids here in the living room, and they can all watch movies together. I think that it's gonna be so cute and cozy and wholesome, and definitely a little bit more wholesome than the previous generations. The previous 3 generations, all of them actually were not the greatest parents. Like, they didn't have the most wholesome relationship when it comes to family gameplay at all. It was all very chaotic with everyone. So it's going to be a nice change of pace to actually do something that is a little bit more wholesome and cozy for a change. It's going to be really fun. And so yeah, I was setting up the living room for that, and because this gray air sim also kind of likes the party, like they do like to go karaoke and like dance and sing, I thought it would be appropriate to add in a little bar here in the living room. We also have a lot of bookcases because that filled up the space nicely, and I still wanted it to be very cozy. But I thought a bar would be kind of fun. It's not something I usually normally put just in the middle of my living room. But again, I definitely had a space left here that I wasn't sure what to do with. I certainly didn't need another dining room space because we already have two. So I was like, what am I going to do? And then someone suggested, you know what? We should put a bar. And I thought that was so clever. So I placed a bar and I thought that was fun. We don't have a karaoke machine in the house, so we can't do karaoke nights in the house and use the bar for karaoke nights. But that can change. We can always add a karaoke machine if we wanted to. So yeah, we could just do that at some point. But for now, it's just a bar. And then here we also have a dedicated gym. So I guess if you wanted to shuffle things around, there's definitely a large room here that you could also turn into a bedroom if you needed to. But I decided to turn it into a gym since being active and being in the athlete career and becoming a bodybuilder is such a big part of this generation and such a big part of the gameplay. I thought it would be nice and make sense to have a dedicated, spacious gym area in the house. So I did that here in the room that normally, maybe otherwise, you would turn into an office hobby room / guest bedroom, or maybe the main bedroom since it is the biggest one. But I turned it into a gym. I thought that would make the most sense. So that is what I did. And then here up on the second floor is where we have the 3 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. So this house has 2 bathrooms, 1 downstairs, 1 upstairs, both hall baths for everyone to use. Nothing luxurious by any means, but still it's functional and it works this way, I guess. So yeah, we just have this second bathroom here upstairs with a walk-in shower, toilet, and sink. I playtested everything. I wasn't sure if the toilet and the sink and stuff was going to be functional this way, but it actually turned out to be functional. So that was great, and that all works. So yeah, we just have that. It is nothing too fancy, but it is kind of fancy. I do like that mural that we have going here in the bathrooms. I did that for both of them. I never used that tile. It comes with a Snowy Escape pack. There's also a really cute swatch with cats, which is actually my favorite, but that one is not gray. So unfortunately, I couldn't use it in here. That was too much not gray for me to get away with it, so I didn't end up placing that. The first bedroom here that we're decorating is for Silver, the Grey Gen Heir, and I was going for a little bit of a luxury vibe. She doesn't strike me as the person that really loves luxury, but all these items in gray were just so pretty that I kind of tried to come up with a little storyline in my head where I'm like, okay, she's finally choosing for herself. She's finally moving into her own house where she can be and do the things that she enjoys and not be not have her brothers and her mom around her that she doesn't have a relationship with. And she wants to treat herself. She wants to have a nice bedroom. She wants to have a comfortable bed. That's kind of, I'm not sure if that makes any sense, but that's just kind of what I came up with in my head. And that was my excuse to use this gorgeous bed from the Modern Luxe kit. And then I placed a nice chair in the corner, and she does have a walk-in wardrobe. All these bedrooms actually do have built-in wardrobes, so that is really fun. And then here, all of a sudden, I'm working with a lot of color because the next generation is going to be the plum generation. So I made sure to include a nursery. As I said, my sim is not pregnant. My sim is only still a teenager, so we definitely do not need a nursery. We're definitely getting ahead of ourselves here. But I thought it would be fun because one thing I do for my not so berry houses, I'm not sure if everyone does that. Maybe this is a thing, but I like to have the nursery in the color for the next generation because they're going to be the heir for the next generation. So I thought it'd be fun to create a plum bedroom. Plum essentially is purple, but I was trying to go as plum of a purple as I could find in the game. And the Love Start pack actually comes with a couple of items that are definitely very plum, including the flowery wallpaper and the matching solid color wallpaper. So that was actually perfect. And then I definitely have some mismatched, just purple and also some pink items going on. I was trying my best, but it was definitely not easy. And then here we have the middle bedroom, which I wasn't sure what to do with. I decided to turn it into a guest bedroom. So we just have a non-functional walk-in wardrobe because I placed the bed kind of in front of it, but that's okay. It's just there for aesthetics. I tried to create like a pull-out couch bed kind of a thing by merging that Love Struck bed with the two-seater couch from base game. That actually worked out really nicely, so we have a guest bedroom in there. And then for the rest, I'm not sure what we're gonna do with the room. At some point, it's probably gonna turn into another kid's room. But when we first start out with the gray gen here, I think it might be nice to have that as a guest bedroom for when maybe her mom wants to come over, stay the night or whatever. Even though they don't really have a relationship, I still want her to be in her life, you know? So maybe she wants to come over and stay the night, or maybe if she goes out karaokeing, maybe she'll have friends that stay the night or something like that. That is definitely a possibility. And then out here we have a really nice backyard where, of course, I made sure to place a basketball hoop. So we do have the basketball thingy all the way in the back, and there's enough space around it so she can actually properly use it as well. So that is really nice. She's obsessed with basketball. She loves it. So I had to do it. Of course. And then for the rest, we just have a nice seating area. There's a small dining table on the back porch. I also placed a yoga mat. She's not really into yoga. I don't think she has really ever done it before, but maybe it's going to be something fun for her to add. I feel like she would enjoy all the active hobbies and things. So yoga is definitely one of those things. So maybe she enjoys that too. And then here I just created a tiny rock garden. I thought it was so cute. I never do that, but since we're in the Snowy Escape world, I thought it would be fun. And then, of course, a litter box for the cat as well, but then that's it. So let's jump into the game and I'll show you the house in real time. So here we have the house in the game. Even though it's for the Not So Berry challenge and it's supposed to be like all gray, I definitely feel like it doesn't look weird or stand out in this area specifically. Like I said, I feel like there's a lot of gray sort of around here already, so I don't know. It kind of makes sense. Maybe I cheated a little bit with the window frames, and we obviously have greenery as well, but I feel like that's allowed, you know? So over here we have the front of the house. I kept it fairly simple because I wanted this to be very functional for like gameplay and just be good for that. So I kept it fairly simple. I parked some bikes here. We have a nice picnic table, just the mailbox and things. And then around the back here, we actually have the backyard, a nice seating area here, dining table, yoga mat, and then of course the basketball hoop over here. One thing I didn't actually include in the speed build is this tiny shed. One of my friends on stream actually suggested I should add candle making as a hobby, just randomly, and I thought that was really fun actually. So I just decided to create a little shed here, and I placed some candle making stuff in here and also some storage for like snowboards and skis and everything. Not exactly sure how much of the candle making I'll actually use in the gameplay, but I thought it was fun to have a shed. And then it's time to go inside. So over here we have this like little platform up to the front door here, and there is a small entryway over here. Not too cluttered because it is very small, so I wanted there to be enough space for routing around, walking around. I did include this sign where Sims have to take off or automatically take off their shoes when they first walk into the house. I never use that, but I think it's so fun. So I better make sure to see that all my Sims have socks. And then off of the hallway here is the downstairs bathroom. We just have a simple walk-in shower, toilet and sink. And over on this side actually is the door into the home gym, which is really spacious, but I feel like she deserves it. Like, working out is her life, it's her aspiration and her career. So it makes sense for her to have this really nice gym space in her house. I'm using the new gym equipment actually from Love Struck, which was really nice and gray. And then of course we have a punching bag and these dumbbells and stuff. I loved how the dumbbells were gray, but then there is a slight hint of purple, kind of foreshadowing the next generation. I don't know, that just worked out perfectly. And then through this sliding door, you enter into the kitchen and dining, which I feel like is a very cozy space. I tried to play around with platforms in here a little bit. So this middle area, this dining room area is sunken down, and then the rest is a step up. So the kitchen here is one step up. It's very gray. Again, I'm loving this trick with the wall dividers for the cabinets. I did playtest the kitchen, so it is still functional, thankfully. And there's an oven here in the corner as well. And then we just have this standalone stove here on the island. Then over here is a sunroom, which is a very cozy second dining room, I guess you could call it. There's a small TV here as well. And then a cat tree. I wasn't sure about the zebra, but it was the grayest swatch I could find, so that's what I went with. Oh, there is a lady with a bag over her head in my house. That kind of scared me. I did not see that coming. Okay. Through this archway here, you enter into the living room. So we have this little bar set up by the bookcases. There's a radio too. We'll see how long I'll keep that for the actual gameplay, because that might become annoying with Sims turning it on all the time. But then over here is the main living room space. We already have a Sim, my playtester Sim, just watching some TV here. So that's nice. It's nice and spacious for everyone to hang out during the family movie nights. And then obviously the cat needs to have a spot too. So there's a huge cat tree back here. Upstairs, we just have this small landing. And then over here is the second bathroom. It's a little bit smaller than the one downstairs, but essentially the same. And then over here is the main bedroom. Again, of course, very gray. I made sure to include a small office space here as well, and space for pictures, because I do always take a lot of pictures throughout my gameplay. So it's going to be fun to have some areas to place those. And then over here is just the bed and a couple of nightstands and a walk-in wardrobe on this side. Then over here is the guest bedroom, which doesn't really have a purpose right off the bat, but it is nice to have this extra bedroom. And if you want to use this house in your game, then maybe it's a fun roommate's bedroom or something like that. I don't know. You could use it for many different things, but it's just a very simple little bedroom. And then we have an explosion of color all of a sudden over here on this side with the plum nursery. This playmat unfortunately didn't come in a plum or purple swatch, so I had to do the best that I could with this one with the purple flower, but that's all they're gonna get. For the rest, this nursery definitely looks very plum to me. It's very simple. It's not all the way like decorated or cluttered or anything, but it's definitely set up for a baby and then an infant as well. But that is basically it for this build. So this not so very gray house is up on the gallery. It has 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. It's expensive. It comes in at just under 98,000 simoleons, so definitely not on a budget. Thankfully, my Sims actually won the lottery twice. I did make it so that all that money kind of went away through gameplay, but we're by no means poor. So I think we're gonna have not really an issue affording this house, but we'll see how we go about that. And I built it on a 30 by 20 in the world of Mount Komorebi. So if you want to place it in your game, then that is where it goes. But that's gonna do it for today's video. So I really hope that you enjoyed this one. You can obviously go ahead and download this build off the gallery. Like I just showed you, my username on the gallery is Simmary Sims. You can follow me on Instagram and on TikTok if you'd like. My username on there is Simmary Sims as well. If you're not subscribed to my channel already, feel free to do so. And if you'd like to get notified of every single time I upload a video, just click that little bell icon and you should be fine. I also live stream over on Twitch a few times a week, so if you're interested in that, go ahead and give me a follow over on twitch.tv/Simmary Sims. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!